SBIR and STTR are back, but founders making plans like it's 2024 again, well, they're about to make a very expensive mistake. Because yes, the programs were renewed, but the legal and strategic playbook has changed with them. Hey everyone, I'm Corey, a lawyer helping entrepreneurs decode law, technology, and innovation. And today we're breaking down one of the most important updates founders need to understand right now. The SBIR and STTR have been reauthorized through 2031. But this is not a story about the programs being back. It's a story about what changed and what founders need to do differently now. This video is a part of my series on the new SBIR law, so stay tuned for future videos. So here's what we're covering. What actually changed in the law? Why this is not just a simple extension, the biggest founder mistakes to avoid now, and how to rethink your funding and commercialization strategy going forward. So the big headline, SBIR and STTR are back through 2031. Let's start with the obvious headline here. Congress has renewed SBIR and STTR through September 30th, 2031. And that matters because for months, founders had to treat these programs like unstable planning variables. Was the authority live? Would agencies actually move forward? Could you actually build a product around this? That uncertainty created real strategic problems. But here's the mistake founders will make next. A lot of founders are going to hear the program is back, and then they're going to assume, great, everything is normal again. That will be wrong. This was not just a clean extension. Congress used the renewal to change the operating environment. So the right question is no longer, is SBIR or STTR live? The better question is, what kind of program is it now? What actually changed? Well, there's several major shifts founders need to understand. First, the law strengthens research security review. And that means that agencies are looking more closely at things like foreign ownership, financial ties, affiliations, licensing relationships, joint ventures, cybersecurity practices, key personnel relationships. And this is no longer a background issue. This is a part of the operating framework. Second, the law creates a strategic breakthrough pathway. This is a big deal because now for certain agencies and certain qualified companies, there may be a pathway for much larger phase 2 awards, up to $30 million. That tells you something very important. Congress is not just trying to keep the old system alive. It is trying to help certain companies move further towards real transition and deployment. Third, the law puts more emphasis on phase 3 and commercialization. This matters because the real value was never just winning the award. The real value is what you converted into after the award. That includes contracts, procurement traction, commercial adoption, revenue considerations, and Congress is clearly signaling that phase 3 should matter more. Fourth, there are now proposal limits coming in fiscal year 2027. That means agencies will have to set caps on how many phase 1 and phase 2 proposals a company can submit. So if your strategy was basically let's submit everywhere and see what sticks, that environment is changing starting in 2027. Fifth, the law expands technical and business assistance. That now includes things like cybersecurity support, staffing and training flexibility, I-Corp participation options. So again, this is not about getting R&D dollars, it's about helping startups become more execution ready. Why this is not free money is back? Let's make this very clear. Some founders are going to hear reauthorization and they're going to think, perfect, non-dilutive funding is back on the table. That's too simplistic. SBIR and STTR are still structured money. They still affect eligibility, ownership, control, intellectual property, work share, data rights, future due diligence, and so on. So this is not free money in the casual sense. It's strategic money, and badly handled strategic money can still create major problems later. So let's look at new founder risk. Before the renewal, the major mistake was assuming the pathway was available when it might not be. Now the mistake could be different. Now the mistake is assuming the pathway is simple just because it's back. It's not. The framework is more mature now, more demanding, more security focused, more commercialization focused, and more structured. That means the companies that do well here will not be the ones that move casual. They will be the ones that move deliberately. So what should founders be doing right now? Here's the real playbook. First, revisit your assumptions. If your board deck, your runway model, your fundraising plan treated SBIR or STTR as paused or speculative, you need to update that now. But don't overcorrect. Do not replace uncertainty with a guarantee. Second, you're going to need to audit your diligence story. If you have foreign investors, offshore contractors, cross-border licenses, research relationships, or unclear governance, you need to understand that before you start trying to build around these programs and not after. Third, think about commercialization earlier. Do not just ask, can we win the award? You need to ask, who is the actual customer? What happens after phase 2? What is the real transition path? That is where the long-term value gets created. Fourth, we need to treat agency execution separate from statutory reauthorization. Yes, the law is now in place, but agency level implementation is still going to matter a lot. You're going to need to verify what is open, what is active, what is being implemented, where your actual fit is. So let's look at the real strategic shift. The bottom line for founders, the programs are back, but the founder playbook is more sophisticated now. That is the opportunity, and that is the challenge. The winners here will not be the founders who say, great, the grant is back. They will be the founders who say, now that the framework has changed, how do we use it intelligently? So let's recap. The SBIR and STTR have been reauthorized through 2031, but this is not just a simple extension. The law added more security review, more structure, and more commercialization focus. New upside exists, including strategic breakthrough funding, but founders still need disciplined planning, not casual assumptions. And the smartest move now is going to be to update your strategy and not just celebrate the renewal. These programs are back, but they're not back in the same way. Join me on the path to decoding law, technology, and innovation to grow your business. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time,